Hi, a few years ago, I had a really uncomfortable realization. I was trying to climb the corporate ladder. I was trying to look successful. And then I realized I was doing all the right things, but something felt off. I was looking into getting my master's. I had created an imaginary life that would be perfect for the woman I want to be. It was the logical next steps. But the one question that kept going off in my mind over and over again, is this what I really want to be doing? Is this what I really want? And the honest answer was no. So today we're talking about the A in my harmony framework. We're going to cut all the bull and get down to the point. How to know what you really want. Is it you? Is it your conditioning? Let's talk about it. So many ambitious women I know are very good at achieving their goals, like amazing at achieving their goals. But one thing I started to notice that happened with myself, with my friends and some of my clients is that once that goal is achieved, there's this level of feeling flat. Don't get me wrong, of course you're happy, but that excitement kind of fades. Once you get that hit of the dopamine of achieving this goal you've been working towards for so long, it fades and you're left with this flat feeling. So the more we dug into these thoughts and emotions and everything that's going on, we realize that for a lot of women, there is this sense of realizing that this goal was never theirs. It was the idea of who they felt they should be. It could be so many things. And part of authentic reflection is taking the time to sit back and think, okay, what is my voice? What is the expectations of others? And where do I fall in between so I am living a life that feels fulfilled and like normal and natural to me? So I also want to talk about something I call someone else's dream, the trap, okay? I feel like, especially as me, a millennial, many of us were sold this dream. Okay, get the good job, get a promotion, build your retirement fund, and then you retire and you live off like a dope amount of money for a really long time. And for me, that looked like, okay, advancing in my nursing, doing a little bit of traveling, getting married, having kids, but like really working up the ladder, building up my retirement fund, and then retiring at like 55 and like, yes, living the best life possible. But things didn't really happen like that because number one, I left the country and I decided to move to Dubai at 26. And number two was COVID. COVID slowed me down and made me think, is that really my dream or is that just the next logical step? In my case, it was the next logical step. That question changed everything for me. It stopped me from being in my head about what I want to be or what I want to do and lean into more of my intuitive knowing of, okay, I know I want to do X, Y, Z. How do I go about it? I stopped wanting what felt good or looked good on paper and started trying to align with what felt good intuitively. It would feel good for me as I get older and build a life for myself. Another area that is really important to think about is how you spend your time. And a lot of the times that shows you where your values are. If you look at your calendar, if you look at where you spend your money, and where you spend and how you spend your free time, it gives you a lot of insight into if you're in alignment or not. I realized very early on that I really enjoyed pouring into my body. And that could be exercising, that could be a massage, just taking time to be home and relax. So for me, that became a priority. And weaving that into my routine until I had more time to do it more freely and in a flexible manner became a priority. It became a value of mine. And now as a coach, it's one of my biggest priorities because it is something I value deeply. So as you're thinking about building out the life that you desire and having it reflect balance and one that suits you and is aligned to the person you want to be, you have to consider your values, you have to consider how your habits are showing up and kind of exposing sometimes where your value system actually is. Okay, so sometimes clues go further back. Let's look at your childhood. What fascinated you? What made you excited to look forward to the next day? What subjects did you naturally gravitate to or activities did you naturally gravitate to? Or was there something people often came to you for advice or for your opinion or to fix something because you're just naturally inclined at seeing patterns? For me, it was always people felt really comfortable telling me their life story. They felt really comfortable sharing with me what's going on. And I never really thought much about it until later in life when I realized like, wow, I'm actually a pretty good listener and people feel really comfortable, men and women feel really comfortable in my energy and comfortable sharing. And then with that, I started realizing that I'm really good at noticing patterns. People often share with me and I could realize little things that they said that makes sense and I could bring that to their attention in a really loving and respectful, gentle way, even as a young child. So I'm like, okay, this must be my thing. Now, Sarah, you've talked to me about so many different things, but how do I put this into practical use? Okay, so this is just a reminder that taking action towards what you want in life doesn't mean blowing up your life and being like, I'm quitting my job, I'm moving to Bali, I'm like leaving my family. Relax, okay? I just want to talk about the fact that figuring this out can look like small experiments, asking yourself some simple questions. And I'm going to talk about 3. Number 1, what small way can I explore this? So it doesn't have to be crazy. What small way can I explore this? Number 2, what low risk experiment can I try to see if this actually works for me? And number 3, what tiny step can I take today or the next day or 2 that would move me closer to my goal? And for me, this was still working as a nurse. This was starting content. This was failing at different content types until I found something that aligns and feels really good. And I just was out here being a baddie experimenter. I was literally just trying it all and seeing what works. When you start being honest with yourself and you truly decide that you know what you want, the intense, urgent decision maker gets a little quieter and you start realizing you don't need to blow things up to get started. You can start taking small actions, aligned actions that point you in the right direction towards becoming the person that you want to be, the person that feels good living the life that they're living. So if any of this called to you or made sense to you and you are interested and maybe even want to jump on a call to talk about what your next steps would look like, you can check out my link in the bio below. I would love to talk to you and I hope to hear from you soon. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye guys.